Hi, good morning and welcome. Yes, my name is Williams Abule and this is the newspaper review segment here on Thav TV. You are very much welcome and thank you so much for joining us once again. If this is the first time you're seeing this video, well, what we do here is that we bring you the headlines from the national and local dailies and of course have these headlines discussed here on the show. And today it's not any different. We're going to be doing that. But before we go straight to taking the headlines, do well to follow us on our social media handles. We're on Facebook as Thav TV. On Instagram is ThavTV_NG. On Twitter is @Thav TV. And here on YouTube is Thav TV. But you have to click on the subscribe button and of course turn on the notification key to always get notified whenever we come online. So without wasting your time, let's go straight to taking the headlines this morning. Okay, we begin with the Nigerian Tribune for the 26th day of January 2022. And the headliner here says, to sustain subsidy, federal government proposes 18 months delay for PIA. That is the Petroleum Industrial Act. That's on page 2 and 3. And under that, we also see, says NAS will amend PIA to reflect new position. It's ploy by APC to fund 2023 polls. PDP says ruling party failed to fulfill promise to build refineries. Experts divided over suspension on removal. Labour suspends planned nationwide protest. All of that is on page 2 and 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, we take other headlines here from the Nigerian Tribune. We see Electoral Act. Reps agree with Senate, finally add consensus option. That's on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, and then lastly, I'll take this headline here on the Nigerian Tribune. It says, Afenifere to international community prevail on Nigeria, Benin Republic to release Igboho. Prevail on Nigeria, Benin Republic to release Igboho. Right, and then we also see this very interesting one. It says Transparency International ranks Nigeria 154 out of 180 countries. That's on page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune. Next, we take on the Vanguard. The Vanguard newspaper here. The headliner here says PIA in limbo as subsidy stays for 18 months. PIA in limbo as subsidy stays for 18 months. PIA implementation stalled. Federal government seeks amendment, denies fear of 2023 election behind decision. Action to cost Nigeria about 2.5 trillion naira. NLC suspends protest. Lords workers I'll take that again. NLC suspends protest. Lords workers, CSOs. CBN recommends engagement with populace, local refining. All right, all of that is on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, and you can find that story on page 5 of the Vanguard. Okay, we take other headlines here from the Vanguard. We see 91 million Nigerians fall below poverty line. NESG report. And then right under that, we also see electoral bill, reps backtrack, include consensus option as mode of party primaries. And that's on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. And lastly, I'll take this report. It says Rivers aircraft in Germany. Okay, I'll take it again. Rivers recovers aircraft in Germany 10 years after abandonment. That's a very, very interesting story, and I'm sure it will interest a lot of Rivers people. So pick up a copy of the Vanguard newspaper and get the full story. Next, we take on News Direct. And the headliner here says Senate reps approve consensus option for political parties. Parties to secure written consent on voluntary withdrawal. Endorsement from all aspirants. And that's on page 4 of News Direct. All right. Next, we take on federal government to delay fuel subsidy removal by 18 months. Federal government to delay subsidy removal by 18 months. Pantami receives presidential commendation as Buhari directs security institutions to leverage on 5G. All of that is on News Direct, so do well to pick up the newspaper and read the full story. Next here is the Daily Trust. Daily Trust for today, the 26th day of January 2022. And the big headline here says petrol subsidy retained for political reasons. Experts. Petrol subsidy retained for political reasons. Experts. Well, it seems like the report from the Daily Trust is taking a different tone from what we have seen from other national dailies. They say it has some political undertone. Right, need to get the story. Do well to pick a copy of Daily Trust newspaper, and you will see the full story. And under that headline, we also see PIA can't be implemented now. It's a plot to finance 2023 elections. PDP. U-turn not enough. Fix refineries, reduce price. NLC tells government. Yeah, U-turn not enough. Fix refineries, reduce price. NLC tells government. All right, and then we also see on the newspaper, on the Daily Trust newspaper, we also see over 1/4 of world's malaria deaths recorded in Nigeria for the government. Over 1/4 of world's malaria deaths recorded in Nigeria for the government. And then we see the report about the Transparency International on corruption. It says Transparency International ranks Nigeria's second most corrupt nation in West Africa. Wow, that should be a very disturbing report there. So Transparency International ranks Nigeria's second most corrupt nation in West Africa. Then right beside that, we see Buhari to security agencies use 5G to fight insecurity. So very interesting stories here coming from Daily Trust. So do well to grab a copy of that paper and read all the full stories. Next, we take on the Daily Sun newspaper here, and we rush straight to the headlines there. See, on top of the paper, see ESN not militants, cannibals. IPOB replies army. ESN not militants, cannibals. IPOB replies army. And then the big one here says Buhari exposes extension of fuel subsidy removal. Buhari exposes extension of fuel subsidy removal. Sets 18 months plan. NLC suspends planned strike. And then at the bottom of that paper, that is the Daily Sun, we see corruption. Nigeria drops in global ranking. Decline signifies non-improvement in anti-graft fight. CISLAC. Okay, so you need to get all of that full story. Do well to pick a copy of the Daily Sun newspaper, and would love to also get your comments and your reactions. Do well to drop them on the comment section. Let's hear from you as to how you feel about these headlines, and let's interact. Well, and you can do that on our social media handles. We're on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. So you can drop your reactions on the comment section. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you very much for staying with us. All right, next we take on the Punch newspaper. The headline here says, Subsidy. NNPC may deduct over 1 trillion naira from FAAC in 6 months. And under that, we also see federal government plans PIA amendment extends subsidy removal by 18 months. NLC suspends protest, says talks with federal governments continue. States face hard times over salary payment, orders economist 1. All right, that it's on page 2 and 19 of the Punch newspaper. Okay, we also take other headlines here. We see MPC experts foresee tougher days as CBN retains lending rate. All right, okay, and then we see Afenifere plans political party insist on state police constitution review. All right, and then we take this one. It says National Assembly agrees on consensus orders lists conditions. Okay, that is on the Punch newspaper, so do well to get a copy of the Punch and read up all the stories. Next we take on the Daily Independent newspaper. Daily Independent newspaper says NAS electoral Act Amendment Bill. NAS harmonizes position on consensus candidates. Says parties must get written consent of other aspirants. All right. Says party must get written consent of other aspirants. And then we also see right under that, we see restructuring Nigeria before 2023 elections still achievable. Restructuring Nigeria before 2023 elections still achievable. Afenifere 6 release of Sunday Igboho Nnamdi Kanu. Right, and then I see here, still on the Daily Independent newspaper, we see Buhari asks security agencies to leverage 5G in tackling insecurity. And then we see lastly here, 91 million Nigerians now live in poverty. NESG. Okay, and then 2023 presidency, 600 women groups declare support for Yaya Bello. Okay, lastly, I'm going to take on the New Telegraph newspaper. The big headline there says Buhari proposes 18-month subsidy removal. I'll take that again. It says subsidy removal. Buhari proposes 18-month policy extension. That's on page 26 of the New Telegraph newspaper. And then we'll also see the headline about IMF. It says IMF retains Nigeria's growth forecast for 2022 at 2.7%. And then UK cancels testing for vaccinated travelers February 11. So all of that is on the New Telegraph newspaper. So you need to get a copy and read up. Thank you so much for staying with us. Don't forget to drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We'd really be glad to hear from you. Next on our show is our commentary live from our studios here. Thank you for staying with us. All right, now I've been joined with Mr. Victor here. He's going to be my commentator for today. He has always been coming, and we thank you very much, Mr. Victor, once more for joining us today. All right, we have some very interesting headlines that we've read out today. We also see the Electoral Act Amendment Bill being passed by the Senate. Finally, they finally passed that bill. And then we see the federal government also and going back on the push, to remove fuel subsidy. And also, very interestingly, one very interesting headline that should be looked at by many Rivers people is the discovery of an airplane in Germany that has been there for over 10 years. Let's start from there. What's your reaction to that?
Okay, starting with the Rivers State government, the current Rivers State government discovering the hidden, some call it hidden aircraft, some call it the about to be sold aircraft.
Because it looks like that, as if something was about to go down and it got to the governor.
Yes.
And he had to travel down to recover that airplane.
Yes. Yeah. So he was like, they got an intelligence report that the aircraft has been there in Germany, and they used the word abandoned, hidden, about to be sold, and all that. And actually, the aircraft for 10 years, okay, it was bought by Odili's government before Rotimi Amechi entered, and then in 2012, nobody heard about it. So I'm wondering what happened during the transitioning time.
Yeah.
Is it that, well, the governor is saying that no document, there was no supporting document.
There's no document attached to that.
We don't know why. We don't know who to hold right now. But another interesting thing about the story is that the repairs for the airline.
Who has been in charge of the repairs?
They say they spent $3 million.
So where did that money come from?
No, this current administration. That they spent $3 million to repair the aircraft. And I had to check. Well, the aircraft is sold for, the new one is sold for about $13 million. And I'll be like, the numbers does not add up for me, okay? It doesn't add up for me currently. Maybe I need more information to that. Let's know why that figure, what really happened.
Yeah.
They should also let us know what really happened, what got bad, was it vandalized, okay? Or are there payments that are supposed to be made? Okay, that aside, now I also wonder why would the governor go with so much entourage. The Speaker of the House, Iwaji, was there. Deputy Speaker was there. Commissioners, you can't count them. Local government chairman, we are all there. You'd be like, what? Why? Why would you go with all these people? On whose pocket? Are you getting me? So
there's a lot of unclear issues surrounding this matter of the airline. Well, moving away from that, let's look into the federal government's decision to backtrack on the proposed removal of fuel subsidy. What's the reaction to all
the worrying part is, why would the minister, the state minister, that's the assistant minister, being the former governor of Bayelsa State, why would he say that it's not political? Why would you extend this by 18 months? After 18 months, the Buhari administration should be long gone.
Yes.
Then why are you moving it to the next government? You promised the masses when you are coming in that you were going to take care of this. Why push it to 18 months and bring in to me, their excuses doesn't carry water. And the annoying part of this is that, how would the international audience, how would they see us? Okay, we've been waiting for this to happen. Many persons have been waiting for this to happen. Let us know how we are managing our funds. You can't be spending. Okay, already there is this in quote allocation of 1 trillion naira to be spent between January and June for subsidy. Nigeria is owing so much. Spending 14. Okay, already we are owing 49 trillion. And you also want, and these monies, you know how it's gonna come by. They're still gonna borrow. So they should stop the lies. It is fully political. It is fully political. Now, even if APC doesn't come back into power, the next government will still carry this burden.
And I don't know, but I doubt if they're still going to go ahead and remove subsidy in the next government. I don't care from which party the next government comes from. Because if you look at the way things are going, they are not ready. They are not ready. But keeping quiet makes them complicit to a lot of, irregularities. So they are coming out to make it look like, okay, we are making attempts to make it better by removing subsidy. I said it here on this show in one of our sessions, and I said they are not going through. I don't see the subsidy removal move succeeding. It's not going to happen. First, one of the reasons is because of the elections that is coming up. They don't want to look, they are trying to, what's the word now, like pamper us into the election time where they will deceive many Nigerians to make them look, to give them this good face. And then right after the election, they show us who they are, like, wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what they are doing now. After election, they revisit this matter, but I still think they're still not going to take it off.
The PIA has been passed. And they keep extending this. Why don't you? And it's not just about petrol. Petrol is just a part of the bill. Okay? We need to grab the opportunity for gas. Gas is the trending thing now. We need these investors to come. We've been trying, no investor. Aside the security issues, we need to improve on our framework for gas. If this subsidy thing, if it lingers, remember IMF they've given us all manner of assurances that take this off. We'll try and encourage people to come and invest in your economy, in the oil sector economy. And look at right now, there is a big clamor for, there is a big let's say clamor or message going towards climate change and petrol. People are running away from petrol.
They are going into more
so
environmentally friendly.
Let's just take off all those and monies are being, oh my God, monies are moving. The so-called persons enjoying the dividend of subsidy. So you mean in the next 18 months, these guys will be smiling to the bank. The criminals that we have that are sabotaging all this, they'll still be smiling to the bank in the next 18 months, and people are suffering. Let this go. Let it go. Let's use that money to focus on healthcare, education, and security.
Yeah, I agree that the removal of subsidy is going to benefit us more. But my call is that what has the present government? What are the moves? Because you want to remove subsidy sometime in April, as it was said before. But even as we speak now, nothing, no tangible move has been made to cushion the effect of the removal. We're still in the same struggling economy. People are still suffering. Salaries are not being paid. People are crying here and there. Yeah. And when the subsidy is removed, the bulk of the people that are going to face the impact is the poor man. Yeah. Is the poor masses. Is a man on the street or in one jungle around here. Not the federal government, not the politicians, not people in high places. So what have you been doing? Okay, look at the rice pyramid that the federal government claims that they have launched how many million bags of rice and it's going to help. Has it changed the price of rice in the market?
No way.
Everything is still the same. If you even go and investigate more, you will see that prices of these things are even going higher by the day. Yeah. So what exactly have they done before we talk about subsidy? Yeah, subsidy is going to benefit. I just believe it will benefit some people that is also doing now that is there. Okay. So for me, I don't know. I want the federal government to be very deliberate as how they are going to go about this thing. Let it be that people are beginning to see changes in the economy. Let it be felt by the common Nigerian. Let it be felt by a common Nigerian before you tell us that, okay, you want to remove subsidy. Then you will not receive any kind of backlash, because NLC, as I know, even if they don't rise up and say, okay, federal government, this is wrong, the masses are going, they've done it before during the NSAS, they are going to do it again. Now they know that they have a voice and it can be heard. That the world stood still to listen to them. They will do it again. Yeah. If you push them to the wall, they will do it again. And elections are coming up. We might not even have any election if they had gone ahead to remove this subsidy. That's how I say it. Yes. We couldn't have. So they've seen it, they've analyzed it and said, guy, let's leave these things first. Yeah. After election, if we're still in power, we will attempt it again. If we're not there, let's leave the trouble for the other guys. All right, so moving on, let's talk about the electoral amendment bill, Electoral Act Amendment Bill. What's your thoughts about that? It has been passed, finally.
Finally. The upper chamber and the lower chamber, they were able to meet yesterday, Tuesday. Yeah. And they agreed that they amended the bill, just re-amended the bill, just as the president advised. Yeah. So one note to make there is, when you come to, they have the indirect, the direct, and the consensus way of primaries. Yeah. And at the time, I got worried about the consensus, because you know what consensus means for godfathers. They'll be like, pick that guy there, and everybody go behind. But this time around, from the bill, there is this clause that if somebody is handpicked or there is a consensus candidate, every other aspirant must sign to show that they have given the go
for that person. Yeah.
So I think it's a nice one. Yeah. But they should also make sure that when it's time for clearing, time for qualification, when they send in their applications, let there be rules, straight up rules. Because what these people might also do is that before the election, before the primaries, they will have a consensus candidate, and they'll be like, or any other person that wants to apply will be disqualified. Yeah. So there should be laid down rules that they will not use applications to eliminate people that they don't want.
That's true. It's true. I'm glad you're thinking in that light, because nothing is absolutely impossible in the politics of Nigeria. We've seen all manner of political antics, and then we will not be surprised. But we hope that this bill will be able to guide us to getting our 2023 elections right. And a lot of Nigerians seek for a better run of the elections in 2023. And that's all we are hoping for. And that's why this bill has brought some kind of succor to a lot of Nigerians, and we're hoping that it will work in our favor. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for all your commentaries this morning. And to our viewers, thank you for staying with us. That's all we'll be taking this morning on the Newspaper Review. Till next time when we join you, my name is Williams Abule. And don't forget to follow us on our social media handles and then subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification key to always get notified when we come online. Bye for now.